I wasn't going to do a video. And I wasn't going to put a message from the team yesterday, but I did. And then I had breakfast with a friend, and she was asking about the message because she got a little confused by it. And I'm like, I can't even remember the message because sometimes when I get dictation from the team, the divine guidance team, I I don't read what they wrote. I did read it, and once I left breakfast this morning, I remembered what she had read. And then, of course, I read it and I went, okay, if she's confused, and she's a very spiritual person, if she's confused, chances are other people will be too. So I said, I will hop on and do a video. Um, we have Anna with us, and yes, this is a video background because I didn't put up the screens. So bear with me on that one. Now, so the team message yesterday. Oh, by the way, I'm Blake Cahoon. I'm a psychic medium and spiritual channel. I have a company called the Angelic Path. This is the channel, the Angelic Path. And I channel messages from the divine guidance team of ascended masters, archangels, angels, and the galactics. Okay, and probably a few fairies too. Okay, because they don't want to be left out. Okay, so I'm going to read you the message that I posted on not only my Facebook page, but also our the Angelic Path page. And and then the team usually comes in at this point and starts giving me a little bit more dictation. We'll see. And they're planning to. Okay, thank you. Um, okay, so the team message from yesterday was just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. So, yes. So we know this is an old chestnut, but one that is full of wisdom, they said to me. There are many things in life that you are capable of doing, and there are many things in life that you desire. Sometimes these are in alignment with each other, while other times they are not. In other words, here, sometimes you desire things and and they come easily. They come easily. But a lot of times you desire things, but for whatever reason, it never works out. I remember that when I was a young woman, um, I had a crush on a guy that I couldn't quit. Um, and it wasn't working out. It wasn't working out. It wasn't working out. And I was begging everybody, please make it work out. Please make it work out. Please make it work out. In the end, it did not. Turned out that he was gay. He was very closeted. So I didn't know. Anyway, that's one of the reasons why it didn't work out. There are times when I've said to myself, oh, I really wanted that job. Please give me the job. Please give me the job. I didn't get the job. Later on, I find out the company just laid off people, or it was a lousy company to work for, or whatever the reason. This is not in alignment with my desires. And so we state our desires to the heavens, to our guides, to our angels, and we ask for their help in getting us there. But if it's not in alignment with your really desired goals that you hold near and dear to your heart, and for whatever reason the timing isn't right, and that's a whole nother video unto itself. But other things get involved with life and you decide to change goals. And that's the very short answer of that. And so sometimes things don't show up for you when you really want them to. But sometimes you just have to learn to trust the universe that they know you because they've been talking to your higher self, and and your higher self doesn't really want what you think this thing will bring you, or it's not going to be good for you in the long run. So they are steering you away from the situation. So sometimes they're in alignment with you and sometimes they're not. You set goals because there are activities or experiences that you desire. Each day you wake up and say to yourself, is this experience or activity as you move through your day, um, is this experience or activity moving me closer to my desired goals or moving me away? Okay, so this happens a lot. We take a job because it pays good and we can live with it, and then we buy a house or we have a mortgage or other financial obligations to tend to, and we can't just willy-nilly quit the job because we're tired of the job now and we want to be someplace else and do something else. So, hello, baby. Hello, hello. Um, and so it's still wet out. It's still wet out. We just rained. It just had rain. Yes, it did. So she wants to be on camera. She's right here. She's invisible because of the background. But yeah. Um, this is Hannah. And so you can continue, and there's always sometimes you can go for your desired goal even when you're in a place that isn't your exact goal. You could always do a sideline goal until it becomes what you really want. And goals, you might want to check some things out too. Okay, so the choice, they say, is obviously always yours, whether you move closer to your desired goal or moved away. It's your choice. We have free will. We can choose to go in any direction you want. This is them. You can choose to go in any direction you want. But if you're not going in the direction of your desired goals, perhaps your desired goals is not exactly what you desire. And that goes back to what we were saying earlier. They're trying to steer you away, or you know inside that what you're trying to go for, and here's an example. And for people that are, I may insult somebody here, so I'm sorry ahead of time, but if you weigh 600 pounds, probably you're not going to be a ballerina. If you're allergic to horses, you probably aren't going to be a jockey. If you're 6'6", you probably aren't going to be a jockey. But there's always exceptions to every rule. The choice is obviously yours. Perhaps your desired goals is not exactly what you desire. Learn to ask yourself the hard question. What is it that you are looking for? And I remember back in my mid-30s, I was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. Other than write, which I do. And in fact, I have quite a few books out there, both fiction and nonfiction, but I want to tell you about 2 books that are coming out this year of a new series I've started called Echoes Beyond Time. We have new characters. This is a PG rated, so it's safe to read. It's not going to probably trigger you in any shape or form. And the first book is coming out in September. It's called, okay, let's see if I can do this, The Portrait at Tide's End. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Hold on. The Portraits of Tide's End. And the second one is coming out in November, and it's called Murder at a Christmas Museum. Okay, and you can see that these are draft copies, and that's where we have the band there. But that's what the 2 books are going to look like. So you'll see a lot of stuff on Facebook, our Facebook page, about these 2 books during the next couple months. So, and my desire was to write, and so I got lucky in the fact that I could write. On the other hand, I did a lot of other things too. So, um, what is it that you're looking for? So, so often we hear this question, and oftentimes you don't have an answer, which is fine. This is what they're saying. And we always advise you to ask yourself this: if I don't know what my desires are, what is it that I don't want? And start from that direction and work your way backwards. Okay, this is where my friend said, I didn't understand that. I had to read it 3 or 4 times to actually get that. And this is what it means. Figure out what you don't want, then figure out what you do want. So sometimes we don't understand what we do want. And so by looking at the opposite of the things we don't want, then we can figure out what we want. For example, I personally, I drove a lot in my youth and being a courier. And after a while, I said, I don't want to do this anymore. And so I stopped. Uh, but, and things like, I can only use myself as an example, but think about the things you don't want in life. And do it from a point of non-emotion. Okay, logic overrules emotion here. So if you're currently angry with your spouse and you're like, I don't want to be married anymore, let's check the temperature of that one first and figure out why you don't want to be married and what does that mean to you. So, and probably you wanted to get married at some point, or you wanted that job. And if you don't want it anymore, then start thinking about what it is that you do want and start moving towards that goal. Figure out what you don't want, then figure out what you do want. Then keep your eyes on the prize and move towards that which you truly desire. And then they wrap it up, of course, with many blessings, Blake, and the divine guidance team. So, I'm just looking at the cat you see the paw. So when you figure out what you do want, and you can experiment, a lot of us are dabblers. We decide, okay, I want to try this. No, that's not it. I want to try this. That's right. At least you're moving in the direction of things that you enjoy. And ultimately, your ultimate goal is to be happy, to be blissful, to wake up with a renewed sense of joy in your heart and purpose in your heart. And a lot of the stuff they talked about here is also good for purpose too. I personally don't think there is one purpose. And a lot of people ask that of me and the team. What's my purpose? What's my purpose? And that's an individual choice. And it ties in with the goals and your desires. So we'll save that for another video. Right now, we're going to leave you with this. We are having a newsletter come out. If you'd like a newsletter, monthly newsletter, this month is all about Archangel Raphael, Archangel of Healing. And that you can go over to our website, www.theangelicpath.com. There should be some sort of link below or website that you can get to easily. And so go check it out. Go subscribe, like, and all that. Comment. Give us a comment. Have you ever desired something? And answer this. Have you ever desired something that you really thought you wanted and then it turned out you didn't? And then what did you do? Food for thought. Okay? Many blessings. Until next time. Bye.
Namaste.